Howdy VC, Wes here, checking back in. It's day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and I am staying the fuck away from the store. So, uh, just gonna be relaxing around the house, and playing some music, catching up on some YouTube videos, making some videos, doing that kind of thing. So, before we get into it, I want to go ahead and take care of a few things of business, few items of business that I forgot to take care of last time. The first thing I want to talk about is the new Glass Orchid Aftermath magazine, or zine, is out. This is issue number 4. This is created by Glass Orchid Aftermath Mark. Really cool zine, and he gets a lot of input from Memphis Vinyl Jim. Nathan Morales is in here. Alvy Trout. And actually, for the first time, I have an album review of the XX's Coexist in here. So that was very cool to see something I wrote in print. And definitely go check this out. I think it's Glass Orchid Mag at blogspot.com. I will definitely leave a link down below in the show information where you can find out how to order yourself a copy of this. Very cool, excellent issue this time. Jim does a blues rocks starter kit in here, which is very cool. Mark got an interview with a Philly folk duo, David and Anthony, which is really cool. But yeah, check this out. And one other item of business before we get into it. The good Dr. Deadwax sort of corrected me on a few things when we're talking about this Allman Brothers band album here, Beginnings. Let's see if I can get a close up of there. And if you see, let's see if I can get this. Let me practice on this. At the end of the number at the bottom there, it's an R1, and I originally said this was pressed at Presswell because there is a PR in the Deadwax, so the plates were probably made at Presswell, and the RI means it was pressed at Richmond. The labels were printed in Richmond, Indiana. And so that means the records were also probably pressed at Richmond, Indiana. So, plates made at Presswell, and the pressing was done at Richmond, Indiana. So, thanks for the correction on that, Mark. Sort of hopefully help other people out as they're sort of exploring Deadwax information and whatnot. But anyway, we're already 3 minutes into this, so let's go ahead and get into the Survivor part of this video, the meat of it. 5 records again. All 5 made it again. Actually, I have 5 more after this that are ready for a third video, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, first album here is a group I discovered on All Songs Considered on NPR. This is a group called the Casket Girls. It's sort of a indie pop, almost like a horror pop, or it has a very eerie. I guess it's labeled on the label as eerie pop, but almost like a 60s, has a sort of a 60s girl group sort of vibe to it, along with sort of an electronic based indie pop sort of sound to it. Very interesting, very cool music. They're based out of Savannah, Georgia, which is a town I happen to love, and it's sort of, the music really fits. If you've ever been to Savannah, and it's in sort of an odd town, and if you've ever been to Savannah, this music this sounds like Savannah to me. Yeah, very, very cool. It has a nice, I don't know if you can see it, but the cover is embossed on both sides. Very cool. Very cool pressing. It's a trio. Ryan Grayface and he's has sort of an electronic group called Black Moth Super Rainbow. And the two girls are Elsa and Phaedra Green. I guess they're sisters, and he discovered them in one of the parks in Savannah, playing an auto harp and singing, and so this album is pressed on. Well, they called it peach vinyl. I think it's more of an ivory color, a little bit peachy maybe. Yeah, this don't know where this was pressed at. Doesn't say. It sounds very good. They did an excellent job pressing this. Sounds great. Very quiet. Just have a nice sleeved, plastic lined sleeve. So that was nice. Sort of a poster here with some lyrics and stuff, and some information about the songs. And you also get a download code. So definitely cool. Check them out. Maybe I'll try to put a link to the one of their videos down below also, so you can check them out. But that was a really cool discovery, and I was happy to sort of find that, and it's something I'm gonna be listening to some more here. Alright, next thing we got here, I finally got around to listening to the Synergy album that I opened live on a recent vinyl inbox. This is Synergy is an electronic composition work done by Larry Fast. This is the 5th album, I believe. Audion from 1981. And as I was reading, but when I first was getting into Synergy, you know, as time went on, the albums got sort of the albums weren't as good as time went on, and I sort of agree. This is definitely not as good as Chords, the last Synergy album I showed, but it's still okay. And this is on Passport Records. See there, just the normal Passport label, and this is where the first few Synergy albums were pressed on clear vinyl. This is where they had gone past that. So just black vinyl on that. And we did talk about the dead wax on this before, but I'll talk about it just once more real quick. Europa disc pressing, and it is a master disc mastering. So, and that's pretty typical for Passport Records, I think. Okay, moving on, we have an EP here from the Antlers. This is called Undersea. This came out earlier this summer, and I downloaded it, but I never actually purchased it. So I finally got around to purchasing this. Went to the record store a week or so ago, and I think it was a Friday night, and I was just like, I want to buy something new, and didn't really see anything I want. I looked at the Beatles reissues, and those weren't really doing anything for me. So I bought this. It was, I think, $14 for this. I paid, and yeah, just cool Antlers EP. Antlers is sort of an indie rock. Dream pop, sort of very lush sounding. Their music is very instrumental, even though there's lyrics to it. It works well. I hear it a lot in TV shows. I first discovered the Antlers in the TV show Chuck. I've heard their music in other shows. I just heard one of their songs in an episode of Parenthood. But yeah, cool group, cool EP. It's actually pressed at 45 RPM on seafoam green clear vinyl. Dead wax on this we have Jay Lambert at SLM. So it's Sheffield Labs mastering. Don't know where this was pressed. Wasn't pressed very well, as is typical with Antlers records. It's kind of noisy. But it does come with a physical CD copy. And then there's this nice porthole picture insert with the lyrics on the back. And yeah, I mainly just bought this as an Antlers collector. I have the other albums on vinyl as well, so that's just something to go into the collection. Like I said, it's a little noisy, so not the best vinyl listening experience. Okay, moving on. Next thing we have is something I know a lot of people in the VC know pretty well. This is the Swans, the Seer. The Swans were a band I heard a lot about in the vinyl community for a long time now, and never really listened to them. When this came out earlier this summer, I guess, is when this came out. I downloaded it and just put it on my iPhone, and every once in a while one of the tracks would come on and I would hear it, and I kind of liked it. I kind of dug the sort of cinematic aspect of it. It gives me the same vibe as the Earth LPs, the Angels of Darkness, Demons of Light. I sort of discovered them through the VC as well, and this sort of gives me that same feeling. It's odd, it's different, it's something I normally wouldn't listen to, but it has aspects of it that I really like, and really cool 3 LP set. Not able to really fit all that in there. Definitely very cool. Glad to have this in the collection. I bought this at the new record store in town, Arrow's Aim Records, which is part of No Idea Records. It's their store, and it was $24, and this was their last copy. So I was wanting to buy something new when I bought this, and I picked it up, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. And one more thing, I think I showed this poster before when I showed this in the inbox, but Swan's album comes with a poster here. And very cool. Also comes with a download card, but of course I've already downloaded it, so I'm not gonna be using that. Okay, moving on. We're on the 5th and final album of the day. This is Gordon Lightfoot's 6th album, If You Could Read My Mind. It was originally titled Sit Down Young Stranger, but the song If You Could Read My Mind was a hit, so they went back and changed the album title to that. It was released in 1970, and this happens to be a German pressing, thus the glossy cover, and well, it doesn't want to turn on, but it's made in Germany by Teldec. And this is a really awesome sounding piece of vinyl here. Go ahead and show the label here. This is actually Gordon Lightfoot's first album on Reprise, and this is a Reprise German label here. No information in the dead wax other than manufactured in Germany. The catalog number. But yeah, If You Could Read My Name. Really good Gordon Lightfoot album. Does a cover of me and Bobby McGee on here, which it's okay. He did this before Janis Joplin did it. And got Minstrel of the Dawn, Approaching Lavenders, great song. If You Could Read My Mind, of course, was the biggest hit on here, and it's a good song. Yeah, just a really good Gordon Lightfoot album, and yeah, definitely recommend that. Okay, so that was the Vinyl Survivor. I think this is number 18 now. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.